Well, hello. I'm hoping that I'm live. Um, I hope I am. Basically, right, this stream setup is quite jank because I'm actually just running it completely wirelessly from my laptop, which is a little bit jank. But I can see we've already got Milo in the chat, and the reason why I keep looking down when I say chat is because my laptop is on my knee, and it's literally running. Yeah, Milo's saying I'm live. So I'm live. I'm good. We've got stuff. Oh, we've got first time chat from Naomi. Thank you for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. I assume that Emer is also there. You're probably using the same user account. It feels weird looking down the chat, but basically, right, my stream setup. I've got this main camera here, which is like my DSLR that I usually use for like YouTube, but obviously I can't. I'm not doing YouTube as much anymore. And then my microphone could only go here, but like usually, right, when I'm doing like this as a YouTube setup. Oh, wait, Emer is beside Naomi. I sort of guessed that, but basically, right, usually I have the microphone pushed way back and then I just boost the audio in Premiere. Um, that's usually what I would do, but obviously with live streaming, I can't boost the audio in post because it's live. But basically, it's the reason why I'm able to use my DSLR now is because Canon actually released like a software. It was literally just a file to like so you can use any Canon camera as a webcam and you just connect it via USB into your computer. And like that software usually used to have to buy like a cam link and then have to get a mini HDMI, and it used to cost, the overall cost to actually get it was quite high. Because the cam link is like 70 quid, and then you have to get the cables, and then you have to plug everything in, and it's just like a whole thing. So I'm glad that they just released this file for free, and now I can use my nice camera, because if I don't use my nice camera, my webcam on my laptop, it's not bad. I use it for work and stuff, and it's fine. It's HD, and I used it for a live stream that I actually did way back in September. I'd done it for those two streams that I did, and it looked fine. But this is so much better. It looks so much more professional. I wish there was a way that I could put my chat somewhere so I wouldn't have to like look down, because I know how unprofessional that looks to like have to keep looking up and down. Um, but yeah, first topics that I kind of want to talk about, because this is just going to be a just chatting stream. We will be live streaming games hopefully on this channel at some point. I do have that all set up behind me. It's literally just a HDMI cable that I plug in. Well, it's actually a HDMI that I plug into a USB. It's a whole like setup I have behind my TV there. So I have got that working, and I actually have, look how professional this is. I got all dressed up to watch your stream as well. Did you, Milo? See, that's commitment. That is commitment. Um, but I actually do have this gaming setup ready. um, for video games. But we're at just chatting screen at the minute. Look, I look at me being all cool. The only issue is that I'm having with the game streaming setup, and the reason why I didn't want to do it for my first stream is the fact that I'm having like issues with like screen tearing. So basically, when I turn the camera in game, you can see like it kind of jars. Like if you've ever seen like bad footage of games, like of captured gameplay and stuff, like cheap, um, you know what screen tearing looks like. It's just not pretty. So yeah. um so that's the issue that I'm having. So I'm gonna try and see if I can figure that out before I go live game streaming. But I wanted to make sure there was no screen tearing on the just chatting screen. So that's why we're doing this first, and then we can gradually add more things to the stream. And hopefully, we'll be able. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this nice camera to stream gameplay though. That's also going to be something I have to figure out. And the fact that this camera is actually running on batteries, so I have a stack of batteries with me, because each camera battery only lasts like half an hour. So we're going to have to, like, if the camera dies, I'm gonna have to swap to a be right back screen, put in the camera battery, and then come back. So that's gonna happen a few times tonight as well. So we'll not be live streaming long either because I only have 4 batteries. So that's only like what, 2 hours? And I had to use this battery setting up. So maybe we've only got like an hour and a half of like live stream time, really, if we think about it. Oh my god, my Nightbot is actually working. Are the links even correct though? I just realized that. Yeah, all the links are actually correct in that Nightbot. I forgot that I still had that there, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, plans for the new year is I'm gonna hopefully live stream here once a week. We'll either be doing like just chatting about gaming topics, recent pickups and stuff. Where did you get all the batteries? LOL. I have them sitting beside me. There's like a pool table here that I use just as a table. But if you want to know where I literally got them, Curry's PC World, like a couple years ago. I have like a shit ton of stuff sitting on this table at the minute. Because I'm going to. They're hard to buy. Oh, that's from Uber. Yes. I got mine in Curry's. If you just go like. Basically, I actually got them in Derry. I'm pretty sure if you just go into Curry's in Derry, but I just had to check if I actually followed you on Instagram. I never use Instagram, to be honest. I took down a lot of my posts this week. So, yeah, I'm never really on Instagram that much. I check Instagram, but I don't post on Instagram a lot. So you're not really missing much if you don't follow me on Instagram, I know. But yeah, camera batteries are pretty hard to buy. Because like, isn't there like some kind of restriction, like you can't ship lithium batteries for some reason? I've never known why you can't do that, but you can't do that from Amazon, I believe, and stuff. But if you go into Curry's, I can get them shipped from the dairy store to your house, because it doesn't cross a border. I think that's why you're allowed to do it. That's how I got mine. Basically, to cut a long story short, I probably got distracted by something in the middle of that, but I hope that helps, Emer. Try Curry's. That's where I got mine. But they don't sell the official ones. They sell like the Duracell ones. These ones. They work though. They don't last as long as the official ones, but they work. But yeah, plans for New Year is just going to be, I'm going to try and live stream here once a week, doing games, recent pickups, talking about gaming topics, all that kind of stuff. Probably will be Thursday night or Friday night, depends. I can only really live stream at night because of work, because I work during the day. Although I've been kind of like setting things up all day today because I've been off this week for New Year's and Christmas, which has been great. But hopefully, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload these streams onto my YouTube channel, because it really does suck that I haven't been able to like do YouTube anymore, because basically, right, I can talk a little bit about this. I can't give away any details, and you guys better not give any details away in chat because it could void my contract, and I don't want that to happen. But basically, right, I work in a company and I make videos for their channels. And the last thing I want to do when I come out of work is make more videos. So that's why my YouTube channel is kind of took a dive, is because I just, you spend all week editing and making videos and coming up with ideas and stuff. The last thing I want to do on my weekends or when I finish work is come up with ideas and start doing stuff for my own channel. So that's why I think streaming is going to be like a new kind of alternative for me, because the one thing I do miss about making videos is the fact that I like talk about retro gaming, I talk about like the game collection, I talk about games, I play games, like I'm missing that side of YouTube. So if I can just bring all of that into a stream and then like upload that stream onto my channel, it'll work. That's my thinking anyway. Don't worry, I couldn't be arse searching you. So what, you just don't know if you follow my Instagram? I follow your Instagram, Maida, so like you probably do follow me if I've liked your posts a couple times. But I just want to double check everything with the stream. Okay, guys. Like, is it fine? Because I was having issues like earlier where my microphone wasn't syncing to my like lips. Like, you could tell that they were separate sources. And I think I fixed it. I just googled how to fix it like before the stream, and I think it worked. So, and if that's an issue, it'll be fixed next stream because I'm still figuring things out. Stream looks good to me. That's good. That's good to hear that it looks good. Because if it doesn't, then that's not going to be good. Especially since they're going to be uploading this onto YouTube. You know, stream looks grand. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you guys coming out and supporting me. It really means a lot. It makes it easier to kind of talk as well because I know there's actually people listening. Although I'm quite used to like doing YouTube, when like I know nobody's really listening. It is gonna be weird to kind of think about the fact that I'm live and I like can't cut things out. And you've probably heard me say about 100 times because I notice I do that a lot when I'm talking and stuff, and you don't really hear it when I'm just like talking and stuff. But see, I just did it. When I'm editing, I notice I do it a lot. It's just a habit. But I think I'm gonna live stream once a week, probably Thursdays or Fridays. I will tweet. If you ever want to hear about anything going on with my life, like social media wise, because I don't really talk about my personal life online just because we don't want to do that. But like if you want to follow anything going on with my social media, Twitter is the place to be for me. So follow me on Twitter, and I'll tweet when I'm streaming. I'll tweet when there's like a new video goes up on the channel. Like I'll tweet all of that, and I also tweet about gaming and stuff there. So if you're into that, go follow it. And if you don't want to follow it, that's cool. Because I know not everyone wants to follow my Twitter. But I think we should get into talking about games, because basically I had a series on my YouTube channel called Recent Pickups where I talked about the games that I picked up each month. But I haven't done a Recent Pickups since September. So this is gonna be fun. So I have my recent pickups from October to, well, I believe that I got that one last week in September, but we'll scratch that. From like October to now. So what I got for Christmas. And I placed an order for some games today, and I have like a box of games coming from Game tomorrow, hopefully, if CPD decides to deliver my parcels, because they're always like a day late up here. But Game is charging $9.99 for delivery now, which is a ripoff. It's an absolute ripoff. But I had to pay it because that was the only place where I can get these specific games, so sucks. Absolutely sucks. Any money I saved in the Boxing Day sale basically went on postage. But we'll get into the first game, and it is one from Limited Run, which I've been ordering like more stuff from Limited Run, but they haven't really released anything like super interesting recently. But I have like a couple. I have like 2 open orders with those that haven't been shipped. They haven't been shipped yet. They'll be shipped probably start of the new year. So you'll see those at some point on the channel. But the first game that we have is Bug Fables Everlasting Sapling. So I seen this on Twitter, and there's this guy called Zion from Nintendo Life, and he is great. Like, I love following him on Twitter, and he likes to talk about like more quirky kind of games, and I seen him talk about this, and I refused to get it because it was digital download, and I'm like, I want a physical. And then Limited Run did a physical, and I was like, I'll buy it. So I bought it. It's getting really, really expensive though to order from Limited Run. Like, I don't know what it is or why. Limited Run, like, I think it has to do something with Brexit, because like the postage prices are just skyrocketed since then. So basically you have to pay tax twice now. You have to pay your tax out of America and then your tax into the UK. Where it used to just be like you would pay your flat rate into the UK. but now you have to pay 2. I think it's because Northern Ireland's still seen as part of the EU. All that stuff. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into Brexit. We're not doing politics. No. No. But yeah, that's why I haven't probably been ordering from Limited Run as much as I would like to. But I've just kind of been, if I see a game that I've heard people talk about, and I'm just like, hi, that looks cool, or like some of the stuff that I seen at their E3 event, I ordered 2 games from their E3 event that like went up. I'm still waiting on River City Girls 2 to go up because I can't wait for that game. And I hope I can get it through Limited Run. If not, I'm hoping that like a European retailer does it because it'll be so much cheaper to get it from Europe. Because, as I said, importing from America at the minute, it's a lot of money. But we got Bug Fables. So I seen basically Zion talking about this on Twitter, and it's basically, people have described it as like a kind of like Paper Mario type game, with like a bunch of it's an RPG. It's got interesting characters, little bugs. I actually haven't researched much about this game. I've just heard that like if you like old school Paper Mario, you're gonna like this. And we will talk more about Paper Mario later because we have a Paper Mario game here. That's a little bit of a spoiler. But this Limited Run stuff always comes with extra stuff in the case, which I love. So we got a little card with some of the characters on it. I don't actually know if people actually do collect Limited Run cards. I always just like put them in my game cases anyway, just to kind of have them, I guess. And then we have a manual. So basically, games don't really come with manuals anymore, but physical collector's editions do. And it's part of the reason why I love this whole like, preserve physical and stuff like that. Because like digital games, you don't get these kind of things. My favorite gaming manual recently. What a nerdy topic. But my favorite one recently had to be Stardew Valley. It basically just gave you like everything you needed to know about the game in just one case, like in one little book, and it was so cool. I absolutely loved it. So, yeah, that was Fangamer that done that release. I'm pretty sure Fangamer have done some really good physical releases. But yeah, this is basically. I haven't actually opened the case in this until today, so this is like, I'm just basically looking through this. But yeah, so basically tells you all the different characters, tells you about the kingdom, and then like you get like a little look at all the different characters in the game. I'm really looking forward to diving into this. I don't know when I will. I've been trying to play like shorter games at the minute. Oh, it gives you battle tips, which is good because I hate having to Google this stuff. It's just so handy when it's in the manual, And you got developer notes as well. Oh, that's really cool. It's like a little Q&A of the developer. It's like, I've forgotten where to go, and then it tells you like how to get stuff. That's awesome. This is oh, I love this. I love things like this. It brings me so much joy, these little knickknacks and stuff. But yeah, this is gonna be good to play at some point. I don't know when I'll get to play it. Because I've been trying to play games on the shorter side, more narrative-based stuff at the minute. I started Heavy Rain last night on the PS3 because I finally got my PS3 to like play games again because it used to just freeze. I just had to literally uninstall everything on the hard drive and reset it. So I hope the next time I boot it up, everything works fine. But yeah, like I've been playing kind of shorter games just because like I don't have a lot of time and I want to get through as many games as I can. Guaranteed, I've actually I've actually got through a lot of games in 2021 when I actually look back. But I will hopefully start this, although an RPG is going to take me so long to get through, so I'll probably play it alongside a couple of shorter games. But RPGs are always good to have on Switch because like at the weekend I can just lie on the sofa, play my Switch, get through like a lot, basically. Now this is a fun part about raising pickups, and it's weird doing this live because usually I know I can cut, but I can't cut when it's live. So basically, a fun thing that I have to do is I always have to edit out when I close the case because it peaks the audio. But I can't do that live, so you're just gonna have to deal with that audio peak. Just deal with it. But yeah, that Bug Fables, basically indie Paper Mario with bugs. It looks good. I'm excited to play it. I love my RPG. Now we're going to get into the games that I got for my birthday with my birthday money. Because nobody actually bought me games this year for my birthday, which I was fine with. I didn't mind because I knew what kind of games I wanted to buy anyway. But first one we got, I actually started playing this on a bus. That's a fun fact. And that is, I actually just showed the game there. I do that so much in recent pickups. Again, I can edit it out usually, but this is live. But we got Super Mario. No. Mario Golf Super Rush. That's what it's called. So yeah. Mario Golf Super Rush. Mario Golf game. But it has a story mode in it, which I have completed. The story mode, you know what? The story mode was actually quite challenging. There was like boss fights and stuff. Like it was much more in depth than I thought it would be, and like that's not a bad thing. But yeah, fun game. I bought this a little bit after release, so I didn't get any of like the pre-order bonuses or anything, and I actually got a pretty good deal on it. And there's nothing special in the case because it's just a standard physical release. And what have to do this again? But yeah, it was a fun game. Like I'm gonna say the story mode, I feel like what I played of it, I'm happy with, and it's kind of like I feel like if I had people to play it with, so like say if like I was using this sort of like as like a party game, I feel like I would get more enjoyment out of it. But playing it solo, the only really thing that you have is the story mode, which is good. The story mode really, really fleshed out. There's like a lot of stuff in the story mode, which is super cool. You can unlock stuff, you can like build your stats and stuff like that there. But once you finish it, I feel like as a solo player, there's nothing much else you can do. But it's really fun. If you like the Mario sports games, which I do, I love the Mario sports games. It's a good one to pick up. I would probably wait for a price drop though, if you're just gonna play it solo. But if you have like the Nintendo Switch Online and you have like people to play with and stuff like that, definitely really fun. I love the speed golf. The speed golf, when I seen it at E3, was it E3? What direct was this unveiled at? Was it it was the September direct actually. When or was it the summer direct with Splatoon 3? Oh, I've kind of lost track on what Nintendo Direct that was. This was unveiled at, but when I seen the speed golf, I was like, "Are you sure this is gonna work, Nintendo?" And then I played the speed golf, and I was like, "You know what? Golf should never go back to the like a traditional golf. We should only play speed golf, both in real life and in Mario." So there you go. Yeah, speed golf is great. That's the only mode that I would like pick up and play every so often, because you can get a couple rounds of speed golf in like half an hour. Sometimes I just play speed golf just every so often. But yeah, it's a good Mario sports game. I'm hoping to try and get more of this Mario sports game. I'm probably gonna hunt down some of the ones in the GameCube and stuff. And I'm really, really hoping that we get Strikers on Switch. Hoping for Strikers on Switch. But good game, enjoyed it. But if you're a solo player like I am, there's not too much content. But if you have like other people to play it with, like as a family or party game, 100%. There's like loads of content here for that. So that's Mario Golf Super Rush. Why can't I get that name? Why can't I get it? So yeah, that is that. And then, what is my thing doing? Yeah, okay. Actually, is the stream still running smooth? Because for me, it's telling me that like everything's going good, and I don't trust it. um, but next game. So this next game again is one I have completed. I actually completed this on I completed this the day before Christmas Eve. Yes, I did. It was the night before Christmas Eve. So I was thinking, did I play games on Christmas Eve? And I'm like, I don't think I did. Yeah, it was the day before Christmas Eve I completed this. Now, this is the weirdest game I've ever played. Like, yeah, smooth stealing. Christmas Eve. Yes, it was Christmas Eve. Glad that the stream's still smooth stealing. Yes, it was Christmas Eve I completed this game. That's actually a Friends reference, Milo. But it's a weird game. It was actually one of the games that was shown at the PlayStation 5 showcase, and everybody made fun of it. And then they released it for free with the first round of PlayStation Plus. And then Fangamer done this physical release. Did America get a physical release of this? I'm not sure. But it's weird. This is a game called Bug Snacks. And like, you will not believe me when I say this game is horrifying. It's actually like, I don't have a good horror tolerance. Like, I'm not really into the horror genre. But oh my god. This is kind of creepy. So basically, right, the premise of this game is you're a journalist, you go to this island called Snacktip Island, and you're plonked there and you're told, well, actually, you kind of run out of your job. But anyway, that's story details that if you play the game, you'll get. But basically, you're this journalist and you're on the island to like interview the person that told people to come to the island to figure out like, why are people on this island? So you go to the island and you see these little snacks walking about with eyes, and they're like animals, but they're food. It is. I've just said that since I was a bit of a win. It is actually a Friends reference. Phoebe walks into Central Park and goes, "Happy Christmas Eve" in one of the episodes. And that was the first time I'd heard it. But I suppose maybe it was a thing before Friends, but I just know it from Friends, you know? But basically, right, you see these little food animals walking about, foodimals, we'll call them, called bug snacks. And you're tasked with like catching them, and then like people can, then like these things are called grumpuses, can eat them. This game, yes, is as weird as it sounds. Completely. So basically, right, you feed the grumpuses the bug snacks, and their limbs turn into whatever food it was. And it just gets progressively weirder and weirder and weirder. Like, it questions ethics and everything in this game. It is the weirdest game I've ever played, but I loved every second of it. And I would urge you, if you have, it's actually on PS4 as well. If you have a PlayStation, get it. It's weird, but it's so good. Like, it's so good. But yeah, this physical edition actually came with loads and loads of stuff. That's the disc. It's a little donut. It's cute. And it actually came with loads and loads of stuff. It came with, like, you can fill in, like, this guide belongs to and stuff. It tells you, like, the story, welcome to the world of bug snacks. And then it tells you, like, how to play, and, like, the quests and stuff. And also, another thing about the game is actually, it's really cool. It utilizes the DualSense on the PS5 so well as well. So, like, see when you go into, like, menus, your DualSense changes colors, and when you, like, catch things, like, your DualSense will, like, flash, like, sometimes when you catch things, there's, like, a timer. Like, when you catch the bug snacks, there's, like, a timer. And it'll actually flash on your DualSense, like, basically the intensity of how long you have left, and the vibrations and stuff are cool. You got the little map as well. It's just a really, really nice little guide. There's the Grumpuses. You know, it's just really, really, really nice. And yeah. Oh, you can actually fill in all the different bug snacks and you can tick them off. I actually haven't had a proper look at this guide, if I'm being honest. But I actually done all of the side quests in the game. I got the good ending, because I just put so much time into this. We've also got a coloring sheet. We got a coloring sheet and, you know, a word search and stuff. I don't know why they marketed this game to kids. It's terrifying. Like if anyone buys this game for their kid, they're gonna have nightmares. Like literal nightmares. It's literally terrifying. But yeah, and you also got some Stickers. You got some stickers. But yeah, that's everything that came with the Bug Snacks physical edition. They're actually releasing DLC for this game as well, which was it the last Sony State of Play, and I'm actually excited to see what the DLC is like. I tried to like put the snap into the middle of me talking so it wouldn't pick the audio. Hey, we had Coraline, they have Bug Snacks. That's very true, Milo. That is very true. I mean, I don't understand. This should be Peggy 12. Like, literally, you watch people die in one of the endings. And, like, I'm telling you, if you're a kid, there is no way you're going to be able to do all of the side quests. There's absolutely no way you're going to be able to do all the side quests. So you're going to get the bad ending, and you're going to have to watch your friends die. Terrifying! Alright? Absolutely terrifying. Yeah. Absolutely terrifying. But yeah, what is this telling me? It's telling me things. My laptop. Not the voices in my head. But yeah, that's Bug Snacks. I recommend it. It's great. Teaching Waynes that life is shite. Well, funny enough, you've actually given me a segue into my next game. Some say life is shite, others say life is strange. Life is Strange True Colors. Like, it's Peggy 16. It's rated appropriately. It's rated appropriately. This game is dark. Like, Bug Snacks is, like, on the surface dark. Like, below the surface dark. This is just dark. This is just dark. There's, like, literal planned murder in this game. Yeah. Thanks for that segue, Mito. That was perfect. Yeah, Life is Strange. True Colors. There's nothing cool in the box. I somehow give you a segue from Bug Snacks to Life is Strange. You did, and it was great. But yeah, Life is Strange True Colors. Now, the minute I seen this game, it was at E3 2020 actually. The minute I seen this, I was like so excited because I felt like Life is Strange was they done Life is Strange 1, great, then Before the Storm, the sequel, one of my favorite games of all time. I'm a massive Life is Strange fan, if you can't tell. Literal Life is Strange tattoo on my wrist. But then they done Life is Strange 2, and as much as I liked Life is Strange 2, it felt like they were trying to emulate the same feelings from the community that Life is Strange 1 had, and it just kind of fell flat a little bit. But this, I really, really, really do feel like they went back to what Life is Strange is all about. And I actually feel like I love this game more, I think, than the first game. Did it top Before the Storm for me? No way. But is it a close second? Oh, 100%. And it had Steph in it. Now, Steph is my... I have a crush on Steph. And, like, we're never going to deny it. And there's a whole DLC called Wavelengths that revolves around Steph and her story and how she ended up in this game because she's in Before the Storm. She's my favorite character of all time, and I have a massive crush on her, and I have no regrets. Absolutely no regrets about admitting that, because she's amazing. Great. But yeah, Life is Strange. If you haven't played a Life is Strange game before, I would actually say you jump in at True Colors. There's not any basically link to the first game apart from Steph, which is technically the second game, but basically, like, if you haven't played any of the Life is Strange games before, you're fine to jump in at True Colors, and I do actually think it's a good starting point for you to then be able to go back and kind of understand maybe some of the things in this game better. But I absolutely love this game. I actually might replay this at some point, maybe on the channel, because it's so good. Basically, right, you can choose the romance option with Steph or with the other guy. What's he called? Does it say in the back of the box? I can't remember what the guy is called, but he was really cool and I really liked him. But I done the romance option with Steph because you gotta go gay. If you're given an option to go gay in a game, I'm gonna pick it. Like, let's face it. Let's face it. And like, I was basically able just to live through Alex Chan to be able to date Steph, and it was great. But basically, right, in this game, Alex Chan has the we'll just read. Alex Chan is cursed with the psychic power of apathy. I can never say it. Empathy. The ability to experience and manipulate strong emotions of others. When her brother dies in a so-called accident, only Alex can get to the truth and reveal the dark secrets buried by her own town. The town's called Haven Springs. It's awesome. Being gay is always an A+ choice. Yes. Choose to be gay, kids. FYI, being gay is not a choice. Just putting that out there to cover my own tracks. But in a game, always pick the gay option. I don't care who you are, always pick the gay option. It's gonna be better. That's just what I've learned over the years anyway. Oh, that's one that I forgot to mention about bug snacks. Literally, lesbian couple and a gay couple as well. In this game. Not even joking. You have to basically rescue the lesbians in this. Well, try to. It's weird. Being gay is not a choice, but being gay in a game can be. That's exactly it, Milo. That is exactly it. But yeah, this game's awesome. If you are a fan of like narrative-driven games and stuff, 100% give Life is Strange True Colors a try. And please, if you can, play it on PS5. The haptic feedback and like the lights, like when you're like in the game, people have like auras around them, and like obviously red is anger and like stuff like that. And when like you go into their emotions, the controller vibrates up, like it lights different colors. And I mostly play games like in a dark room because this light switch is actually a dimmer switch, so I can dim it down. And I usually play games in dark rooms, so when like she was going in, there was one scene where like she was going in and the girl was really angry. And you go in and basically my whole room like kind of lit up red from the controller, and it was just so cool. It just adds that like extra bit of depth. But the game's also available on Switch, I believe. I don't know how good the Switch version is though. I would say it would have a couple frame rate issues. I would recommend, if you're gonna play it on Xbox or PlayStation. Usually Switch ports aren't the best. You know, in my experience, I will mostly play things on PlayStation just because your frame rate is going to be better. It's going to look better. It's going to play better. That sort of thing. But yeah, Life is Strange. Yeah, absolutely. I was so hyped for this game, and for me, it totally lived up to its expectations, and I will probably replay this again because it's so good. So good. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I have to say about this. It's very dark. I would say I'd also recommend, if you have like anxiety and stuff, don't play it in a don't play it in a day where you're overly anxious, because there is a scene in this where like there's a guy having a panic attack and you have to try and take away his anxiety. You know? There's things like that. So there's some pretty dark scenes and topics and stuff within these games. Within all of Life is Strange games, like Life is Strange 2 deals a lot with racism. And the first Life is Strange dealt with like a lot of like an array of issues like suicide and stuff. So I would say these games do contain like really sensitive topics. So I recommend, like, if you're triggered by that stuff, maybe these games aren't for you. But they're great. For me, I love them. I think they shed light on important topics and stuff like that. So yeah, I love it. That sounds wonderful. I don't know what part you were referencing, but yeah, it all sounds wonderful. Life is Strange. It's a fantastic game. Oh, I wish I could like re-experience it for the first time again. You know? Oh, also the D&D segments and stuff. Cool stuff. Like there's like role play and stuff. It's just really nerdy as well, and I love that. I could talk about this game for ages, honestly. I could write a proper script about this game and still have loads of things to say about it. You'll know yourself if you're into these types of games, sort of thing, you know. But I think I've rambled on about Life is Strange enough. But we're gonna go into a game now. This is a game that I did not think I would be holding in my hands. So basically I've been trying to get more GameCube stuff, but if you follow GameCube collecting at all, you will know that, well, it's quite expensive. So I recently picked up Path of Radiance, and you know that that game was like £210. Yeah. I got it on credit, so it wasn't too bad. If you want to watch my last recent pickups video, it's in that. It was a good game. Haven't played it yet, though. I just keep looking at it going like, I can't believe I own Fire Emblem Path of Radiance in the GameCube. One of the rarest games is just in my house now. But this is another one. So this one isn't basically on the level of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, but it's like up there. And it's one of the ones that I wanted to get before it like really jumped in price. So basically the story goes is basically in Northern Ireland we got these little cards, these little NI Direct, what are they called? They were basically just like little prepaid cards that the government sent out with £100 on them just to boost the economy after the pandemic, just to kind of just boost the economy. I don't think it worked very well because we're still sort of in the pandemic, and businesses are still suffering, so I don't think it really done anything, but it's fine. You know, spend local. That's what they were called. Spend local cards. Thanks, Milo. But so basically, I had bought everything I wanted to buy with my spend local card, and I was like, oh, I don't know what else I want to buy. So basically, I was in Derry for work, and I decided to call in the CX, and I seen this in the window, and I was like, oh, are we gonna buy it? And we did. So it was £95 in total to buy, but I had £68 left on my CX voucher from selling my laptop, so I had £68 left from buying Path of Radiance, and I had £14 something left on my spend local card. So I only had to put like 20 quid towards this game, so I basically got Paper Mario The 1,000 Year Door for 20 quid. I think that's pretty good. And I've heard so many good things about this game. People saying like it is the best Paper Mario. Not the first Paper Mario because that was on the N64. I spent most of my local card in the off licenses. That's fair, Milo. For me, it's like as long as everybody got what they wanted with it, you know. I think they'll have to do another round of them, to be honest, for them to actually work. Because I think they done it too early. They kind of jumped the gun a bit. I think they should have done it after Christmas as opposed to before Christmas. But hi, it's fine. I was able to get loads of Christmas presents with it and this, so I'm happy enough. Thanks, Stormont. But yeah, Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door. We got it in the collection, so that's another one of like the rare Holy Grail GameCube games that I wanted for cheap. Basically, because they're just gonna keep getting up on price. So if I can afford to buy them, like through saving and through like getting discounts and stuff, that's what I will do. But I decided to actually keep the receipt so you can actually see. Yeah, it was 95 quid. I kept the receipt because I always have like receipts. There's some games I have collected that have receipts in them. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to keep my receipt because it's really cool to see how I got this game. So basically, yeah, there was £68 on my voucher, £14 on my spend local card, and then I give her a £20 note and she gave me £7 change. So work that maths out. It doesn't tell me how much in total I paid, but it was £13. £13. And cool thing about this one, my copy of Path of Radiance didn't come with a manual. It sucks, and I'm still trying to source a manual. If not, if I can't get one by like next year, I'm just gonna buy like a reprint on Etsy, which I don't want to do, but I might have to. But it actually came with a manual, so it's actually box complete. I was so happy with this. Like, oh, it's in great condition. Like, this is in like pristine condition. There's like a couple of tears around the side, but I think that's probably from it being on like a shelf or something in CX maybe. But yeah, so happy. I dropped my receipt. No. This is the stuff that we cut out of videos, you know? But yeah, we got Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. Didn't think I would be ending this year with having, like, this, like, having Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and this in my GameCube collection. Like, these are two hard to get expensive games, and I have both of them. So I'm really happy with that. And I will play this at some point. Again, it's an RPG. It's going to take me so long to get through it. I think this is like 40 hours in length. It's going to take a while, but God, I've heard so many good things about this game. So I'm really excited to get into it, and I will look after this copy with my life. I will guard it, much like my copy of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, which is actually just like, it's sitting on top of my GameCube pile, but it's like way at the back. So it's like there's no sunlight getting to it. It's like kept in good condition because they're expensive. You know, these games are expensive, and you know, you gotta look after them. Gotta do what you can for game preservation, you know? That's part of the reason why I collect games as well. You know? Yeah, I think that's everything I have to say. I haven't played it, so I don't have as much to say about it, but I've just heard so many good things about it. And again, the fact that it's like such an expensive GameCube game is just, it's so cool to have it in the collection, and to get like such a hefty discount on it and stuff is just really cool. So yeah, that's what I picked up in November basically. So now we just have the last pile, which is the 3 games that I got for Christmas this year. So we're just gonna check in before we get into that with the stream. Everything with the stream's still good. Tell me if it's not. And then, oh, I've been streaming for like an hour. That is not bad. That is not bad. I'm surprised my camera battery hasn't died yet. It's still at full battery. What do you say? It's gonna die now, and like I've jinxed it now. It's gonna die in like two minutes. Maybe it's because I'm not recording to an SD card or something. Because I'm not even recording on here. I'm just streaming. I'm not doing any recording at all. Milo says stream good. Yay! I don't know if Emer and Naomi are still in chat. They could be away. They might be doing something. They might just have me on in the background as like background noise. I'd be like the worst third wheel. Just in the background talking about video games. But yeah. But okay. I already just got a game in my hand. So this is the games that I got for Christmas. So the first game that we're going to talk about is actually one that I'm playing right now, and I only have like 4 more levels to do, and then I'm done. And that is Super Mario 3D Land. This is actually a game that I had when I was a kid. It was one of the very few games I had for my 3DS. And this is actually an Australian copy of the game. So, I got an Australian copy. I don't know how I got an Australian copy. I asked my gran and granddad to get me this one, and they must have just ordered whatever they could find. And it came unsealed, so it was pre-owned, but I didn't mind because it's in really good condition. Apart from like the case is like falling apart here, but it's fine. It's not a big deal. The game's fine. But I'm just checking the chat. But yeah, I got it out of the box and I was like looking at it going like, there's something different about this. And then I was worried in case it wouldn't play on my DS, but it did. But it does. It's still PAL region, so it still works. Because I know the 3DS is not region free. DS game section of it is though, which I find really weird. But basically this is an Australian copy of the game, and it even says in the back, distributed by Nintendo Australia. Stud Road, Scoresby, Victoria, Australia. It's an Australian copy. So they don't have a PEGI rating system, which I find really interesting. I thought they did, but they don't. They have like G for general, which I assume is like our PEGI 3 rating here in Europe. Not sure. But yeah, that case is tight. It didn't come with a manual. I don't know if 3D Land did come with a manual. And the game's not even in here because it's actually in my 3DS, which I actually have for some reason beside me. I just have it here. I just sort of left it here. But yeah, I've been playing it. You can see it's in there. And it is the Australian copy, and it works fine on a European. This is actually an Italian 3DS because I imported this from Italy. Because mine broke and I wanted the same one again, and I could only get one from Italy. So we have an Italian 3DS with an Australian game cart in it. How diverse, you know? But yeah. Basically this is a really, really, really good Super Mario game. I prefer the 3D Marios over the 2D ones, if I'm being honest. 3D ones for me just have so much more creativity, and this game is packed creativity. It is just so much fun. So I had this game when I was a kid, and I never really got too far in it just because like it's quite advanced and you need like star coins to like advance in it. But I basically played this on basically mostly all day Christmas Day when I got it. And I got to like halfway through the first world. And then I played a little bit on Boxing Day. I completed it on Boxing Day night. And then I completed like the first world, like the first, because there's like secret levels. Then when you complete the main story, you have like the secret levels, and now I'm on like the last world of the secret levels. But you have to like have so many star coins, and I don't have enough star coins, so I have to basically go back over the game, collect any star coins I missed, and then I should finish it. So I'm hoping that I'll finish it this weekend. It's been so good to like go back and play this game and relive it, because I got this game for Christmas from my dad when I was little. And I sold a lot of my games then when I got older, because I stopped playing games, so I started selling my stuff. And then when I got back into gaming, obviously that led me getting into back into gaming collecting, and now it's just led me here, I suppose. And this is a game that I had always wanted to get again in the collection. So I thought I'd ask for it for Christmas, and I've been having a blast playing it. It is so much better than what I remember it being. It's a lot easier now that I'm older playing it. I thought it was really difficult when I was a kid. But yeah, this is a great game. This is a really, 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 really great game. Packed with creativity, so many different levels. The secret levels after you complete the game, I think, are a highlight, because it's basically like, they're like remix levels of the ones you've already played, and they're like different concepts. You've got one where you've got like a secondary Mario chasing you. You've got one where you've got 30 seconds to like complete the level. You've got, like there's so many different concepts with the same levels, and it just keeps it so much interesting. So yeah, Super Mario 3D Land. It's awesome. It's a really good game. And if you didn't know, 3DS is actually named my favorite handheld system. I actually have a video about it on the YouTube channel if you want to check it out, where I just talk about all things 3DS and how I'm a 3DS ambassador and the story of like my 3DS journey and stuff. Really proud of that video. Really like that one. Just gonna double check. Yeah, everything is still good. Everything's still good. Just gonna double check. Yes, everything's still good. So we're on to our last two games, and one of them I do actually want to play on stream, which is why I haven't played it yet. Well, actually, I might end up playing both of them. Stream A-OK. That's good to know, Milo. I'm just double checking everything because it's my first time live streaming. I am surprised at how long this camera battery is lasting. It's went down to 2 bars now, so we might only get like another 10 minutes with it. But it's held up fantastically because I was using this battery to test the stream before I went live as well. So I don't know what one to show first. They're both PS4 games because I have I play a lot of my stuff on PlayStation. We'll go for the first one. Detroit Become Human. Ta-da! So yeah, Quantic Dream. These are the same guys that made Heavy Rain, which I'm currently playing on my PS3. Played like most of it last night and really enjoyed it, for what it was worth. But I've heard so many good things about Detroit Become Human, so excited to try it out, I guess. And for some reason, right, this must be a new print of the game because it used to have the only on PlayStation here, and this one doesn't. And for some reason, it has like a yellow dot beside the age rating. I've never seen that before. So I don't know if it's from like a different European region or something like that. But it was new sealed. I just took the sealing off it because I'm gonna play it. But yeah, there's nothing really in the box. There's these like little control things which used to be in most Sony exclusive games. I don't know why they do that because like the controls are in the game anyway. I don't know many people who are like, oh, what's the controls? And they just like open the box. Like I never understood why the controls were just there. Like if you're gonna just do this, like you might as well just do a manual or something. I don't know. But yeah, Detroit Become Human. I don't know why I went like the game disc out there. That was weird. This thing wasn't clicked in properly. But yeah, that's Detroit Become Human. The only thing I know about this is like the meme that went, "Hi, I'm Connor, an android sent by Cyberlife." I know that meme. For some reason, there seems to be always memes with like the Quantic Dream games because with Heavy Rain, you've got Jason. It's a funny one, and then with this, you've got, "Hi, I'm Connor." It's weird. But yeah, I'm just gonna read the description because I don't really know what to say about this game other than I have it and I'm gonna play it and I love narrative games, so I assume this is gonna be really good. I've heard really good things about it. I believe didn't this come out? This came out like just after the PlayStation Pro, didn't it? I believe this was like 2016 or something. Detroit 2038. That's actually not that far away. 2038. All I know is DBH is Brian the Chart. I don't even know who that is, Milo. You're talking to the wrong person completely. I have no idea who Brian the Chart is. Like, absolutely none. Is it the main guy? Is that who that is? I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, Detroit 2038. That right, we're going into 2022 tomorrow. And like literally like 25 hours we'll be in 2022, right? So that's literally like 17 years away. 16 years away. He's the person who did the motion capture for Connor. Oh, right, okay. I think that one's Connor. I think that's Connor. Lifelike androids have replaced the human workforce. That sounds great. I would actually like that. They never tire, disobey, or say no until something changes. Some of them have started to behave irrationally, as if they were feeling emotions. Oh. Tell your own story. Every choice is a consequence. Take control of 3 androids in their quest to discover who they really are. Face moral dilemmas and make life or death decisions. This game sounds delightful. No, honestly, like, I am really, really excited to play this because it just looks so interesting. And I don't know much about it. All I know is that it was a big major AAA release and it just looks really, really fun. So I'm excited to play Detroit Become Human. We might live stream it on here. Any of the games you see here, we might live stream them. It just depends whether I want to do like retro stuff, or if I want to live stream like more modern stuff. I'll be doing a mixture of both, hopefully, throughout the year, as well as streams like this where we're just kind of showing games, talking about them, all that kind of stuff. But we're on to our last game, and this camera battery is still holding up. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing that this camera battery is still holding up. But yeah. So, we're going to get into the last game, and then I will probably wrap up the stream. If you guys have any questions you want to ask me, non-personal questions, if you want to, guys, if you want to ask me personal questions, you guys all know me, just text me. Just send me a text. Good sip. Good sip. That's, I remember seeing that TikTok like everywhere for like a week, and then it just kind of disappeared. Pretty funny though. But yeah, if you guys want to have any questions ready to ask me after I finish, because Emer asked me earlier before I started the stream, she's like, "Can we ask questions?" And I was like, "Ask away." If you have any specific questions to ask me that are non-personal, you can ask me them, just so we can wrap up the stream. So we did a little Q&A session, if you want. But the last game that we have is Crash Bandicoot 4. And I know, it's your man who plays Kylo Ren. He is the good sipper. Really? Oh yeah, it's Adam Driver, that's right. Yeah, I know it's Adam Driver. I know him. He's in that new film House of Gucci, which is meant to be really, really good. Oh, there's a little bit of plastic stuck on this. But we got Crash Bandicoot 4. So, I know I don't support Activision. We don't support Activision in this household. But, you know, this was released. I really good or really Gucci. I think it's meant to be both, Milo. I think it's meant to be both. But basically, this, in my defense, this game was bought to me, and even though I shouldn't be supporting Activision is my point, but for me, the devs that put the work into this game didn't do anything wrong in the company. It's the higher ups that did. I will not be buying Activision games on release or supporting them that way, but I will be buying them pre-owned, sort of thing. So I got this for Christmas. I did get it new sealed for Christmas, which is fine. This game, you know, the devs, Toys for Bob, who made this, did not have anything to do with the sexual assault that has happened, like all that horrible stuff that has happened in Activision. So I feel bad that it is Activision that owns Crash, because I love Crash Bandicoot, and it's like an internal conflict in me at the minute where I'm just like, I don't want to support Activision because of all the horrible stuff they did to women, but I also love Crash Bandicoot and Crash Bandicoot games and the style of games that they do, and I wanted to get the Spyro trilogy and stuff like that, but I'm going to be buying all Activision stuff from now on, pre-owned, so that I don't support the sales of things, you know? That's my thinking anyway. That's my piece on that. But Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time. When this was released, I was dying to play it, and I never bought it. And then my mom was like, "What game do you want for Christmas this year?" And I was like, "Can you get me Crash Bandicoot 4? Because I really want it." And she was like, "Okay." So, is Activision the COD people? Activision is the COD people, yes. Yes. Their new Call of Duty Vanguard though is not doing well, which is good. We love to see it in a way. You know, I think COD's slowly kind of diminishing in like the major kind of gaming, because Halo seems to have taken the COD audience this year, because Halo Infinite is actually free to play. I might dive into it maybe at some point, I don't know. It's actually free to play on PC and Xbox, so, but it's like taking the place of COD this year, I think. But Crash Bandicoot 4, excited to play it. The only thing right about this game is like I watched one of my favorite live streamers, the Gibbs24. I watched her live stream this, and she got through all of the game like pretty easy enough, right? And apparently the last level of this is impossible. Like, it is tough. But the one thing I love about Crash Bandicoot is, although I suck at platformers, I suck at most video game genres, let's face it, I just love them. I love a challenge with these games. And I actually was playing the Crash trilogy, the remaster. I actually need to get a physical of that because I have it on digital, because at the time I wasn't like playing games as much, and I was like, I wasn't collecting, but I was playing games sort of thing, so I didn't have very many physical games, mostly downloaded stuff at that time when the trilogy came out, and I bought it on release. So I don't actually have a physical of it, but I need to get a physical of the Instant Trilogy because I want to kind of live stream it as well. And it should be on my PSN account, so it should be fine. But I was playing it, and I could not get past the first Crash game. I got stuck on like the castle level, and it's one of the hardest levels in video game history. Still stuck on it, but it doesn't frustrate me. Like, I like that challenge of Crash. I like the fact that the games look like really, like they're really, really fun, and they look really, really easy, but they're very tricky. They're very tricky. So I'm excited to get into Crash 4 because from what I've seen, like the trailers and everything, when I watched it at Summer Game Fest in 2020, it just felt like the old Crash games that I knew from my childhood were making a return, and there's so many different creative concepts, and it just looks awesome. So I'm excited to play this when I get round to it, because I think I might go through 1, 2, 3, and 4 all at once, and there's nothing. This is the first time I've opened the case. There's nothing in the case. And I'm just actually realizing Crash Bandicoot is rated Piggy 12? Really? Why is it rated Piggy? There's bad language. There's bad language in Crash Bandicoot? Wow. What bad language would there be in Crash Bandicoot? I can't imagine, like, Crash Bandicoot dropping the F-bomb or something. What? But that is my stack of games for, oh my god, I've been trying to like stack them and do like a really cool like thing. This is why I shouldn't do things live. Here you go. Here's all the games I picked up in the space of 3 months. Does Crash refer to someone as a cockwomble? Maybe. That sounds like something Crash would. Well, actually, Crash can't speak. That's what makes it even more confusing, but Crash can't speak. I don't know. Crash can't speak. So anyway, guys, that was all of the games I picked up. Do you guys have any questions? I am pretty sure Naomi and Emer have disappeared into the void. But if you guys have any questions for me before I wrap up the stream, we'll do a little Q&A session if you want. Maybe accidentally swore in Gaelic or some shit. Maybe one of his like noises is a swear word in some country, and they had to like mark it as bad language or something. I don't know. We'll see. I bet you it's something like silly. I bet you it's something really, really, really silly. What's your favorite soup? My favorite, there's a lot of soups I can't eat because I'm lactose intolerant, and a lot of soups have milk in them. So there's a lot of soups that I actually cannot eat. But my favorite soup. Don't know. I like chicken soup. Oh, chicken noodle soup's good. No, gotta get the ramen noodles in. That's a good soup. It's a very good soup. But yeah, I'm hoping that I will be able to live stream something like this. Oh, Emer and Naomi have revived themselves. They're here. Favorite memory from Barcelona? The question comes in from Emer. I love how she signs it off, so I know. Emer, make a Twitch account and follow me. Actually, hold on. There's like a repeat alert. And Naomi, you followed me before I started the live stream, so you didn't get your alert. So there you go. You have your alert now. Has my stream been off-centered the whole time? I'm just realizing that now. I must have moved it at some point. There you go. You got your follow alert. And it's still off-center. Oh my god. Live streaming's hard. Oh yeah, why is that black bar coming? You guys see that? That like black bar? I will answer your question in a second, Emer. I'm just getting distracted by my own settings. Does that look better? Hopefully that looks better. Favorite memory from Barcelona? We were in a food coma while you guys just like snacking and stuff. Because that's honestly fair. I've been eating Pringles all day. Because there's so many left over from Christmas. Remind Emer about the Mandarin mojitos. She drank a lot of those. But my fave memory from Barcelona, I think, is that all the Barcelona vlogs are on my YouTube channel still as well. My fave memory from Barcelona has to be the castles. Like, remember when we went up to that castle? That was just such a great day. It was one of the last days I think we had in Barcelona. I know it was like the second week. And it was like, we all went up the castle and we have that like video of us singing Barcelona by Ed Sheeran up on this castle, and that was like one of the best memories, and every time I think back on Barcelona I always think about that. But the other alternative to that answer is like going out on nights out with like you and like with everybody, with Connor and stuff. That was really 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 fun. Kind of having that experience because obviously I just turned 18 before we went to Barcelona, and it was like my first kind of experience of that. And you know, it was cool that I was able to have that experience in a different country and like away from home, and it was just, yeah, I suppose that was like my favorite memories of Barcelona. And it kind of, I feel like it brought everyone kind of closer, and I think it's the reason why we are like all close now. So it's good. Like, you guys are still supporting me and my weird internet stuff. You know, even after Barcelona, because I feel like Barcelona was when I started taking YouTube seriously. And when I kind of realized, oh my god, I can actually do this and enjoy this, and people will watch and people will enjoy it. And, you know, yeah, I miss that. I think with COVID, I kind of value having memories like that now more than ever, because like, you know, COVID's kind of isolated me, I feel like, from a lot of things. So it's nice that I'm able to have those memories still of before we were isolated. There's like a black bar at the top of my screen. It's annoying me. That's why I keep looking down. Where are we? We got a Serve 6 cheesecake here. Oh, nice. Was it like one of the ones you get from like Tesco, like the proper fancy ones, or was it just ones that you just like picked out? I love cheesecake. If I can eat it. Friggin' love Barcelona. The funniest memory I have is Barcelona is my missing wallet. Oh my god, that's a bad story that I don't think I can share online, Milo. That was bad. We proper accused that woman of stealing your wallet. Oh, yeah, that was fun. I can actually proper. Oh, I'm gonna be out of focus now if I actually lie back in my chair. I'm gonna be out of focus. It was okay. So it was like a proper fancy one. That's cool though. In all fairness, like I hate those things. No one says in the box like it serves so many people. I always sit there and I'm like, no. No, that doesn't, because like, right, it depends on your, like, how hungry you are, right? So like if I'm like hungry, I'm gonna obviously take a bigger slice. So you can't tell me that it serves six, you know? If that makes sense. Because you're gonna eat more if you haven't eaten all day, you're gonna eat more cheesecake, right? Right, I'm just going on tangents now, to be fair. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can kind of talk about in this stream. Because I've kind of talked about what my plans are for going forward live streaming. Um I think next live stream, which will be next week, I don't well, we'll see, because I start back at work on Monday, so I don't know if I'll have like this much energy. Um I identify as non-binary, but according to your Tesco lasagna, I'm a family of four. Yes. Yes, Milo. That's of course it. Um but yeah, like I don't even like the fact that they're like, "Oh, it's family sized." Like, you know when you get those like big packs of like Maltesers or like menstruals or something like that? Are they still call them, like, do they still do those like Galaxy menstruals? They were really good. If they don't, they should. They really should. But like, you know, you get like a family pack, and it's like, no, it's not a family pack. It's just a larger bag. I ain't sharing this with my family. They can go get their own stuff, you know? But yeah, I should be live streaming next Thursday, depending on my energy level. The reason I have so much energy tonight is because I slept into like 10 o'clock and I've done nothing all day. Whereas this time next week I'll have woke up at 7, done a full day's work, you know? So am I fuck sharing my chocolate with my family? My thoughts exactly. You know? But yeah, like I should be live next week. We probably might just either do a just chatting stream, or we could do maybe something a little. Oh, now my battery's dying. Um, we could do a little like something easy. Like a nice. I don't know. We could live stream like Mario Golf, or the Speed Golf, or just something light like that. Maybe something from the Nintendo Switch Online service, maybe some retro stuff. We'll just sort of see what sort of stuff I kind of want to stream. Because I do have the game streaming set up. It's literally just a cable, but I won't be able to use this camera. I'll probably use my webcam, but I'll figure that out. That's for me to figure out. But we'll probably alternate between like game streaming once a week, and then maybe once a month, or like every so often do like a pickups related video. And then I'm just going to be uploading these onto YouTube and maybe cutting them down for TikTok. I'm not sure yet. But I'm actually going to test something out, because I haven't tested this out live yet. So basically, this camera battery is dying, so I need to change it. So I'm going to test and make sure that my screen for changing the battery works, and that I'm able to get everything like back up within like 5 minutes. So we're going to test that out now. So I will be right back. We're going to change the camera battery, see if this works, and then we're going to end the stream. Hopefully that all sounds good. And I should be back. That's a fresh camera battery in. And everything. Now I'm counting on you guys. Does the stream still look good? And is the stream still running? Did everything like go smooth there? Like, did it transition from the be right back screen to this like fine? Because it did on my end, but sometimes I know it can be different. You're back. I am back. So I assume that means that everything went fine and there was no lag and there was no like weird stuff. Which means I can change camera batteries on the fly because that only took me like 2 minutes. That's handy. I'm good at this. I feel like I'm doing good at this. I feel like I am. No lag. Perfect. Yes. We did it. Well, I did it. But you guys are here, so technically we did it. The only thing I want to be able to do is be able to have my chat like maybe up here or something. Just so it doesn't look like I'm looking proper down. You know? It feels like a bit unprofessional to keep looking down. But then that's where I see everything and like where I'm managing everything, so I don't know. We'll have to just figure it out. Like, I'm new to this, you know? So I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. I don't think we got any unique viewers. I'm not sure because my view count's hidden because I don't like seeing how many people are watching, sort of thing. But I want to say just a massive thank you for Milo for coming in and modding in case we had any trouble. Because when I used to live stream, we used to have a lot of trouble of people coming in and doing stuff. Mad times. And I want to say thanks to Emer and Naomi for hopping in as well. It's like it's just so much easier when I know that there's people watching and that there's people chatting. Just so then like I have something to bounce off of during streams because it's hard when there's no one in your chat. You're just kind of sitting talking to yourself. So the trolls were hilarious. The trolls are funny when they come about, but sometimes you're just not in the mood for them. But yeah, just big thanks for coming to the stream and helping support me. It really does mean a lot. I don't know if you guys will be here every week, but if you can, like, come in when you can, it is greatly appreciated. It's just really nice that you guys do that and you guys want to support me and all that. But I will hopefully get the game streaming done and sorted for next week, and we'll be maybe streaming something. Again, all details, like if you want any details about streams and stuff, I'll put my Twitter. I'll probably do like a poll for maybe something to stream or whatever I feel like streaming, pretty much. It might be something from my Switch. It's really, really easy to stream from the Switch. It's like so handy. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I think I want to do. So thanks for coming up to the stream. If you just thanks for Milo, Emer, Naomi, thank you so much for turning out and helping me like have something to bounce off of and stuff. Really do appreciate it. And if you joined at any time during the stream and I just didn't see you, or you just were lurking in the chat, thank you. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching the VOD on YouTube, thank you for that too. You know, 2022 is going to be the year where hopefully I'm going to get into live streaming. We're going to improve the setup. We're going to do this. You know, I'm going to take streaming as seriously as I took YouTube in the beginning. And hopefully, it might lead to something cool. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a pleasure. It was Milo. Thank you very much for coming and modding. But I'm going to end the stream here. I never know how to end live streams. That's my issue. I never know how to end live streams. So I'm just going to have an ending screen. I don't know why I have an ending screen, but I do. So we're just going to put that on. But thanks, guys. And I shall see you either next Thursday or next Friday. Just depending on how much energy I have after work. Bye.